Welcome to the 2018 APTA National Championships, presented by our national sponsors Viking, Save-A-Tree, and Uline, and our local sponsors Fields Automotive Group, Midwest Orthopedics at Rush, RBC Wealth Management, and Chicago Platform Tennis Charities. We are live at the Glenblue Club in Gulf, Illinois, on the APTA network, presented by eNet Live. I'm Lauren Mandel, along with Mark Fischel, bringing you the round of 128 match between Hall of Famers Cindy Pendergast and Lauren Zink, and another Hall of Famer, Bobo Delaney, and Stacy Stevens. Mark?
Well, first off, Lauren, it's great to be here with you. It's been a while since we did a match together, so I'm excited to be back together. We have 3 Hall of Famers on the court, as you just enumerated, which is really exciting. Cindy Pendergast is wearing the red jacket. She'll be playing the deuce court. Cindy is a Hall of Famer. Won 3 Open National Championships. Very solid player. Volleys very well. Lobs real well. Her partner is Lauren Zink. In a lot of ways, Lauren is the precursor to the modern game. She's wearing the black vest. Very explosive, dynamic game. Hits the ball very hard off of both sides. And really is part of the group of women that has expanded the size of the court. On the far side of the court, in her trademark headband, is Bobo Delaney. Bobo's the Hall of Famer, won the national championship, and is one of the savviest tacticians ever to play the game. And her partner, the lone non-Hall of Famer on the court, who must be feeling kind of lonely, is Stacy Stevens. Stacy's a very solid player, doesn't do anything flashy or dramatic, but she's very good at putting the ball in play. So what are your thoughts on the match, Lauren?
Well, you know, every year when you see Pendergast and Zink play, it's been a year since you've seen them play together. Lauren only plays nationals. And Cindy's playing great. She played really, really well last week in the National 45s.
With Carrie Delmonico?
She and Carrie Delmonico had a good win in the semifinals. They saved 2 match points against Liz Jaspi and Lisa Rudloff. And they had a couple set points against Darda Shea in the second set in the finals before losing. But I think Cindy's playing as well as she's played in a long time. And Lauren hits the ball big. And she hits the ball hard right at the nick. And she's always tough. And it's especially tough to play her because you don't get to see her all year.
Yeah, she plays the game at a different pace than most of the women. I mean, her game is somewhat similar. If I had to contrast her with anybody, it would be Gabby Nicolescu. And that's a hard pace to handle if you haven't seen it on a regular basis. And one of my concerns would be Stacy Stevens and how she handles it.
Yeah. So why don't we take a look at the draw? Here we go. And what jumps right out at me, Mark, is that the winner of this match is in the same part of the draw with Darda Shea.
I think I'm having some problems with my eyes this morning, Lauren.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah, which brings us to the question we're going to talk about all weekend. Can Darda Shea pull it off this weekend? Can they win their first Open National Championship?
You know, Darda Shea, they have won everything else in this sport multiple times. This is the one tournament that's eluded them, and obviously the one they really want. And, you know, they're the clear #1 team this year coming into this tournament, and the clear favorites.
Yeah, they've beaten Cruz Nicolescu the last 3 times they played, last 2 times in straight sets. And, you know, to me it doesn't come down to anything physical at the end of the day. It's clearly been a mental issue with Darda and Shea. And I told Jerry about a conversation I had with Amy Shea after I interviewed her in Philadelphia, where she thought being the #1 seed was a jinx.
Players are ready to start. I think Amy and Shea would rather be the #1 seed than not be the #1 seed, though, because it shows how well they've been playing coming in, and they've really been the closest thing we've had to a dominant team this year.
Starting in the round of 128, to my right are Bobo Delaney from Chatham, New Jersey, and her partner Stacy Stevens from Little Silver, New Jersey. On my left, from Wilmington, Delaware, Cindy Pendergast, and her partner from Brayton, Florida, Lauren Zink. The match will be the best 2 out of 3 tiebreak sets.
And it makes it hard to introduce the players when they switch sides on the umpire. Yeah, I was somewhat troubled by the conversation with Amy that she felt being the #1 seed would be a jinx. To me, that goes to the mindset they're bringing into the tournament. I mean, my mindset would be, not that I've ever been the #1 seed, but my mindset would be I've been the best team in the country all year. I deserve to be seeded #1. I'm the team to beat.
I think they feel that way. I really do. But they have to find some way to forget that they've never won this tournament and to make it feel like every other tournament.
It just seems like they carry so much emotional baggage into nationals every year. And they're just, to me, they're the epitome of what a good platform tennis team is all about. Strategy, willingness to change. I mean, a couple of years ago, Cynthia was really struggling with the hard overhead, and she worked at it and played with the guys and encouraged them to hit it at her, and it's been a relative non-factor.
It's a non-factor now. She rarely gets beat, and that's why they've won the last 3 matches against Cruz Nicolescu, because they've basically taken away that huge forehand roller of Gabby's.
The conundrum that Cruz Nicolescu face is you want Nicolescu hitting the overheads and you want her hitting the volleys. But it's kind of hard to do both. She's got to choose one or the other. And she's got the best overhead in the game and the best volleys in the game.
That's true.
So that team, to me, is going to live and die on Liz Cruz and how she plays. And in Philadelphia, she did not have her best performance. So Zink Pendergast won national championships here in 2011, followed it up in Long Island in 2012, and I think both years it was the only tournament they played. I remember going into Indian Trail in 2013, everybody was wondering could they do it again, and they got pulled out of the hat in the quarter of Brzova Stoklasova, who were the #1 seeds, and there was a clear passing of the guard.
That was
Brzova
right.
Stoklasova.
It was the beginning of the dominant couple years of Brzova Stoklasova.
Yeah, they thumped them. I think it was like 1-1 or 1-2.
Maybe 2-2. Yeah.
Really badly. And it was really, you know, the passing of the mantle from Lauren Zink to Vicky Stoklasova, where Vicky was the best player in the game for about 3 or 4 years, and might still be if she was playing. I mean, that was the last match that Dardis and Shea lost, was to Curtis Stoklasova in Boston, where Vicky put on just a tour de force.
Vicky played, not to take anything away from Jade Curtis, who played definitely the best and the most consistently I've ever seen her play in the short time she's been playing. But Vicky was just a master in that match.
And her ability to control the tempo, control the play. And that's really the thing that most of the women have struggled with Dardis and Shea, is they haven't figured out how to accelerate the pace of play.
To Dardis and Shea's credit.
Yeah.
Ask me for any questions.
The umpire is explaining that he's not going to call the lines, but he will make calls if you ask.
And then that's about it. Any questions for me? Unless you have a question. If I don't see it, then the call stands.
Does it surprise you that Bobo had a question, Lauren?
Unless it's questioned, I don't overrule. I let it go. Yep.
Right, so the umpire could see the ball clearly out, but if nobody questions it, he's not making the call. And he will also call foot faults, which often comes into play in these umpired matches.
Okay, so it looks like Lauren Zink is going to take us out. Sun is going to be a real factor, as it always here at the Glenview Club, isn't it, Lauren?
Always. It's a factor in here for us.
Yeah. But what do you think Delaney's saying to Stevens at this point?
I think she's telling her to have
Ms.
fun.
Zink to serve. Ladies
not
ready.
To think about who they're facing.
Okay, so Lauren Zink serving to Bobo Delaney.
Love 15. Love
And then
30.
you see Delaney blitzing, which you'll see a lot of off the Stevens return to serve.
Delaney really has a picture-perfect
15,
paddle
30.
volley.
30 degrees out, clear blue skies, beautiful setting, tough morning for paddle. And I think the
30
pitching
all.
is really smart because I think once the ball gets in play, it's going to be really tough for Delaney Stevens to find some offense to generate from the backcourt.
Well, Delaney has to get up to net. That's where her
30,
offense
40.
is. She's always looking to come in.
Three faults for Lauren Zink.
Game,
First
Delaney,
game goes by
Stevens.
the
They win the
boards.
first game of the first set.
I imagine it's hard to come out and play a match when you don't play so much paddle, no matter how much tennis you play. It's a different size of court and it's a different feel.
It's a testimony to her talent that she's able to do it at the level she does. Okay, Stacy
Miss Stevens
Stevens
to
to
serve.
serve to Cindy Prendergast.
Nice forehand from Cindy.
Love 15.
She's got that slap forehand, which is really difficult to read the ball off her paddle.
And her backhand too. It's flat one-hander.
$15 all.
I guess if you're going to play Pendergast Zink, the first round is a good time to play them. Last year they played the eventual champions, Van Starenburg and Hanisch. Before Lauren has a chance to find her range. There's that flat backhand off the screen.
30-15.
Does Lauren still play the game at a high enough level to compete with the best? Can she beat the best teams? Can they win this weekend?
I don't think they can win. I think they can cause problems, but
30 all.
She is one of the few women that can really accelerate the pace of play, which to me is the key to beating Dardis and Shea.
look, if they get to play Dardis and Shea in the third round, I think they could certainly have a good shot against them.
That ball jumps off of Zink's paddle, doesn't it?
It does.
40-30.
Delaney Stevens look very comfortable to net against her right now. Bobo Delaney in the I formation. Testimony she can still get that low.
Game, Delaney, Stevens. They lead 2 games to love. First set. Miss Prendergast to serve.
Some early misses from Zink.
Delaney's a tough person to have to play if you're making errors, because she doesn't make any of her own.
15 love.
Great blitz there from Stevens, just misses the shot.
Took a cut at that one.
30
Yeah.
love.
Big forehand. That looked a lot like my forehand as to hit the snowboard on the short hop.
$30-15.
It's amazing how big a part of the game serve has become, Lauren, and it's so much faulting both in the men's and the women's game.
40-15.
A hold for
Game.
Pendergast.
Pendergast, Zink.
They are on the
Delaney and
board.
Stevens lead the first set, 2-1.
I think as people are trying to do more with their serves because the returns have gotten so good, that obviously leads to more faults. And then when you just decide you're faulting and you just try to get it in, then you can't do that either.
Miss Delaney to serve.
Okay, Bobo Delaney to serve. To Cindy Pendergast.
This will be interesting. Bobo does not have a big serve.
Bobo does not have a big anything.
No, but she volleys great and she has great court sense.
Just a little late hitting the ball,
15
not moving
love.
into the court. But she's going to keep swinging. Not much doubt about that.
All.
It's interesting to see them in the I formation. One of the evolutions of the game we've seen so much of late is there's very little just serving and coming in the classic formation.
It's too much of an advantage to the returner. The key is really mixing it up and not giving the returner too many of the same looks.
And even there you saw Stevens crossing on the serve, even though she started in conventional formation. A great feel from Zink. All set up by
15-30.
Pendergast, that real good forehand off the down-up overhead.
15-30.
You know, we keep talking about what a big hitter Zink is, but Cindy
15-40.
Pendergast is a 3-time national champion and knows her way around a paddle court. Very smart player.
Game.
And quickly we're at
Pendergast,
2-all.
Zink. Games are 2-all. First set.
We're going to have something this weekend in Chicago we haven't had much of this year. Good weather.
I can't remember a year where there have been so many paddle tournaments played in the rain and the snow.
Been tough.
Love 15.
She generates a
15
lot
all.
of pace on that forehand. Doesn't seem to have too much control of it right now. I haven't seen that trademark overhead from Zink, which has dominated women's paddle for about 3 years.
She hasn't gotten too many lobs. She's had a few backhands.
They're also not switching at the net to put her
30,
forehand in the middle.
15.
I know, I'm curious to see it. I'd like to see how it looks. That big swinging forehand overhead.
I have this lasting memory of watching Lisa Rudloff futilely chase it down over and over again. Good return
30
there for
all.
Stevens. She and Liz Jaffe lost back-to-back national finals. Pendergast, Zink. Good idea.
Good idea, exactly.
40-30.
Let's Much better pace of forehand there. Had that ball dipping, and combined with the Delaney blitz, forced the error from Zink. Those matches, first round match where you're just trying to get comfortable on the court, get into the play, hit a few good shots.
Advantage, Ms. Zink.
And find your level of comfort so you can really play your game. And you can see Zink is struggling with that right now.
It's a good return. It's like we're saying, it's tough to serve and come in regular formation when someone's got a big shot, and Stevens has a big enough forehand to make that volley very difficult.
Break opportunity.
Advantage, Miss Stevens.
For Delaney Stevens. It's interesting. Zink hasn't even thought about changing strategy. Just keeps playing the same way.
I don't think she's going to change her strategy.
That's great lobbing. 3 or 4 times in a row. Zink catches the nick again. 2 nicks this point.
Bobo's there, though.
But those were all real good lobs. Pushed her behind the service line
Miss
3
Delaney,
or 4 times.
Stevens,
She finally misses one.
3 games to 2. First set.
It's an interesting matchup.
Viking is the premier brand and undisputed leader in platform tennis. Viking is platform tennis. The Viking Extra Duo platform ball has been the #1 selling ball in the industry for the last 20 years. It's the official ball of the APTA, of the APTA Nationals and President's Cup, and of course of the APTA Grand Prix Tour. So that the longer it takes Zink to get in the match, the more confidence Delaney Stevens build, and the more their belief grows.
And I think what you said about their lobs is really key to this match. Bobo, in addition to being an excellent volleyer, is an excellent lobber, and you got to lob well against Zink and Pendergast, or you're going to be, like you said, chasing overheads all over the place.
And after that return of serve, that's their primary offense. They're switching in the net to get the Stevens overhead in the middle.
It's a really bad feeling as a returner when someone takes that away from you, when you're used to getting some free points, quick points.
Great exchange. Ah, great ball from Zink. That makes her 1 for 3 on that shot.
Love 15.
It just shows how much feel she's got. Yeah, those are the types of points that Delaney Stevens can't afford to play. Great exchange, great hands at the net.
15
I
all.
love those cat and mouse points, Lauren, when you find out who's the cat and who's the mouse. Big shout out, Lauren, to Isla Maine, who I'm sure is home watching.
She is watching. She is watching. She said you gotta love a first-round match with 3 former national champs and Hall of Famers. Hi, Isla.
And a great shot there from Pendergast.
15-30.
Very impressed with Stacey Stevens in the early going. She doesn't seem phased at all by being in the court with all these legends. Got a good forehand, volleys well.
30 all.
And they have a plan, Delaney and Stevens. They have a plan. And they're executing nicely.
Well, Delaney always has
Yes.
a plan.
Oh.
30, 40.
That's so frustrating when you're perfectly positioned for the volley. Nothing you can do.
They got their signals crossed there. They both went to the left side of the court. Fortunately, Lauren
Went further left.
they went further left, but they had that left side of the court covered.
Right.
Great lob from Pendergast, forces the error.
Too far back to hit down on your overhead
Advantage,
from there.
Ms. Zink.
Just want to get it back deep.
Sun was also a factor
Yep.
on that ball.
Correct call.
Service called out,
One.
confirmed by chair umpire
Game,
Laboon.
Pendergast, Zink.
We're
Games are
level at
3-all.
3.
First set.
Another good swing. Right shot. Just fails to execute.
15 love.
She knows it. It was there for her.
So that's 3 nicks. Zink is hit in short order. That's a good deep overhead from Pendergast.
30 love.
Didn't quite get to the side screen. Stevens was waiting for it.
Sorry. 30, 15.
Pendergast didn't quite bail. She kind of half stayed in.
Was able to make the first
Yeah.
volley. Thought she'd kind of survived it. Right serve looked wide, didn't it, Lauren?
It looked like it was either really good or wide.
Another nick. Great get from Delaney. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
30 all.
I call that a Miguel Cobbs at my club, Lauren. When you swing and miss and then chase it down.
Do you have to miss twice to make it a Miguel Cubs?
No, you just have to miss and then chase it down. Great blitz there from
40,
Stevens.
30.
Can't quite catch up to it.
Thanks, Bev.
You just kind of get the feel that as soon as Pendergast Zink get their teeth into
40,
the match,
30.
they're going to start rolling.
Well, they're doing a good job of keeping it close, so when that happens,
Game.
they're in position.
Pendergast, Zink. They lead 4 games to 3. First set.
But Delaney and Stevens are going to stay tough. And now, we'd like
All
to
good. Thanks,
talk
Greg.
a little bit about Uline, which is the leading distributor of shipping, industrial, and packaging materials to businesses throughout North America. They ship over 2.5 million boxes every day, but they are so much more than a box company. More than 32,000 quality products are always in stock and ready to ship. Outstanding customer service means they're here when you need them, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Uline, the best selection, products, and people for an unforgettable customer experience.
Little delay here. Waiting for Stevens to return to the court. This is a critical game coming up, isn't it, Lauren?
Yeah. And there's not much separating these two teams in this first set. The sun seems to have gone in a bit, too. Okay, Stevens is back.
See the difference in the quality of the lobs, how few of the lobs from Zink Pendergast are driving him out of the service box. There's a good one.
See, Boba Delaney is an excellent example of someone who's always in position with her backhand volley as she misses one.
And that was a good job
Love
creating
15.
movement from Pendergast Zink. Pushed him off the net. And Delaney's a great volleyer on the net from inside the service line, not quite as effective as virtually everyone is. Catches the nick. That's also got to be a
15 all.
result of how little paddle Zink plays. I think that's a ball she reads later in the tournament. Love how Delaney closed off the net even with the short forehand from Zink. But you can see that Zink forehand starting to take over the court.
I formation again. Terrific first volley.
All.
Pendergast has missed a couple of those backhands off the back wire, but that's a great shot of hers, and she'll...
Right on the tape, too.
Yeah, and she'll get it. It's very flat, so there's no margin for error. Rare service mistake from Bobo Delaney.
30-40.
Miss it?
I don't know what happened. I guess
Deuce.
Bobo got out of the way.
Yeah, no, she missed it. Yeah, I thought it went off of Bobo originally. But Zink's reaction clearly indicated she missed it. Two forehand misses from Zink.
Advantage, Miss Delaney.
Three.
Game, Delaney, Stevens. Games are 4-all. First set.
She's not really moving forward. She's more moving parallel. She's missing those.
They lost that ball in the sun.
Love 15.
Here comes Delaney with the blitz.
Good idea by Stevens. Fails to execute.
15 all.
Big point. I think Delaney's brother Tim Mangan is home.
15-30.
They'll have like a post-match session on the do's and don'ts for Bobo. Having heard Mangan critique his sister, I'd imagine they're going to be more don'ts than do's.
Oh, great move.
Big
30
forehand.
all.
The lady's in perfect position, just fails to make the volley.
She just couldn't control that volley.
Volley's so much harder than it looks, though, as you're moving forward with that momentum.
I agree. I mean, I think that volley in transition is the hardest shot in paddle, or certainly right up there.
And it looks so easy. Another good forehand from Stevens. She's been the best player
30,
in the
40.
set. Break point, chance to serve for the set.
That time Delaney made the volley on the blitz,
Deuce.
but couldn't get it away from her opponents. Haven't really seen any of those swinging forehand overheads from Zink.
Point from Stevens, just misses the back.
Advantage, Ms. Zink. Deuce.
Yeah, you can see she just doesn't have that comfort level in the match. Still a little nervous. Didn't even finish that swing on the serve, kind of pushed it.
That's what people tend to do when they try to just, you know, get it in. You don't finish the swing. There's that forehand overhead.
Delaney was on that one. Not happy with that
Advantage,
miss.
Ms.
Big
Zink.
point. What a volley from Delaney.
Backing up.
Deuce.
Zink looked at the chair umpire in dismay. The trademark
Ms.
push
Zink.
forehand of hers. Misses that one.
Deuce.
Big forehand
Big.
from Stevens. She's played really well this first set, hadn't she, Lauren?
And the contrast between that and Bobo's forehand, which kind of floats.
Fastball and a changeup.
Yeah. Oh, Cindy knows that was going to be trouble.
Advantage, Ms. Zink.
It's hard to blitz on the Delaney return, isn't it? She's trying to get it down and low. Still difficult to do. Another fault at game point.
Deuce.
I feel like if they get out of this set, she's going to settle down. But if they don't, it's just going to put more pressure on her.
Advantage, Miss
That
Stevens.
serve is about halfway up the net. That serve is hauntingly familiar for me, Lauren.
And of course, the more serves you miss, the harder it is to make them.
There's another blitz.
Game, Delaney, Stevens. They lead 5-4, first set.
Mark, that's a tough game to lose for the serving team.
Yeah. Also, it's opportunities. Faulted twice on game point. Failed to convert. Now Delaney Stevens will serve for the first set.
Oh, every day. So it's pretty easy. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Hold or break, Lauren.
Break.
Okay.
Love 15. All.
Missed lob and a missed back.
30-15.
2 points from the set. Let's see if Zink cranks this one.
She did crank it.
40-15. No. 40-30.
Another set point. A little tension in this serve, huh, Lauren? Volley. Bobo makes the volley. Game in the first set. Delaney Stevens.
They win the first set, 6-4.
We will be back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA network, presented by eNet Live.
We are a nation divided. That's what they tell us, right? This chasm between us. But what they don't tell you, what doesn't make the news, is this. We carry each other forward. No matter who we are, or what we believe, or where we come from, we've had the privilege to carry a century of humanity. Lovers, fighters, leaders. But maybe what we carry isn't just people, it's an idea. That while we're not the same, we can be one. And all it takes is the willingness to dare.
Baseball has a rhythm. Pop, crack. It's the sounds of opportunity. That's why Good Sports helps kids get in the game by getting them the equipment they need. To learn more, please visit goodsports.org.
back to the 2018 APTA National Championships. We're in this 128 match between Lauren Zink, Cindy Pendergast against Stacey Stevens and Bobo Delaney. First set to Stevens Delaney. We have a missed overhead from Pendergast. Lauren, what do you think they need to do to
15.
settle things down and turn things around?
Well, Zink and Pendergast just have to start by cutting down on the errors. They're making a lot of mistakes, and you don't want to do that against Delaney and
30.
Stevens, who make a lot of balls. You never want to do that, but especially against a team that's not going to beat themselves.
Lauren Zink just doesn't look comfortable out there to me, Lauren, as we talked about a little bit between sets.
15-30.
She's just not playing with her her style. She's not really moving too well. Think she's nervous? First tournament of the year?
I mean, I would assume she's always nervous at nationals because it's always her first tournament of the year. I would think that would be, but clearly she's, you know, she's had incredible results. So we'll see if she can get her game together. Otherwise, this is going to be a quick tournament for them. But Pendergast and Zink certainly have the advantage in terms of offense, and if they can cut down on the errors, then they can turn this match around.
Although the biggest shot in the court has been the Stacey Stevens forehand.
But that's only because Zink is missing so many. If hers were going in, that would be bigger.
And there's a fault.
Game.
And that's
Delaney,
a really
Stevens,
shaky set. Shaky game to start the second set.
They won the first set 6-4.
Pendergast and Zink are not Hall of Famers for no reason. They're going to try to figure this out, and they'll go down fighting if they have to go down. But the more time goes by, the less chance they have to get it together. I mean, you know, Delaney and Stevens are playing well.
And Zink looks tight to me. She's really struggled with her serve. Faulted to lose the last game. Faulted to lose serve in the 4-all game. And as you pointed out, the more you miss, the harder it is to get it back. Wow, that would hit the snowboard on the fly.
Love.
It's a big miss.
She usually has such precision on that shot.
Oof.
Were you ducking on that ball?
I ducked.
30, love.
I didn't think Bobo was reacting.
That was going to hit her in her headband. A great volley from Stevens.
She's really hit some good, deep first volleys.
She stabbed at that one. First good forehand we've seen from
30,
Zink in a
15.
few games.
It was a good Pendergast backhand followed by a good Zink forehand. That's a combination they need.
Plenty of time to turn this thing around, but Zink's got to find her game to do so. And
40,
that was
15.
not it.
She's going to try to hit her way out of it, Mark.
Yeah, I think you're right, Lauren. Problem is the way you hit your way out of it is you start building confidence by making a few, and she seems unwilling to back off it a little bit and hit it 60% or 70%.
2 games to love, second set.
Those last two misses were just full-out balls that weren't even close. Great love from Delaney. Great close by Stevens with the forehand.
That's the one she's missed a couple times off the back screen, but she made no mistake about it that time. Hit it perfectly.
Yeah, her forehand is dominating the court right now.
Love 30.
That was kind of an indecisive swing. This is a
15,
big moment
30.
of the match right here, Lauren, isn't it?
Very big.
Oh.
Yeah,
Another
I
great
wouldn't
rip.
want to play regular formation
15,
there, time
40.
after time.
Why do you think they're not adjusting? Lack of play?
Yeah, and I think they feel like, you know, they've won playing it their way, and that's how they want to play.
Great lob there. Fortunate bounce there
30, 40.
for Pendergast Zink. Little talk here. Expect to see them in the I formation, Lauren?
Yes.
That's not fair,
If I
Lauren.
wait. I'm always right if I wait.
I would say usually you're right if you're wait. A great exchange. Big point right here. Both teams know it.
Bobo's going to keep lobbing. Wait for Stevens to get a short forehand.
Comes Bobo.
Here comes the blitz.
And Lauren Zink fails to warn her partner. 3-love. Delaney Stevens.
They lead
Great
3
move
games to
by
love.
Delaney.
Second
All
set,
credit to
Delaney
her there.
Stevens won the first set, 6 games to 4.
The APT thanks our official sponsor, Save-A-Tree, the green choice for tree, shrub, and lawn care. Let Save-A-Tree focus on your landscape so you can focus on your game and enjoy every outdoor moment at home or at play. Save-A-Tree provides environmentally sensible services to properties in the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, Midwest, and Western regions. Contact them at saveatree.com for a complimentary landscape assessment by a knowledgeable arborist. Lauren, in a lot of ways, Bobo Delaney is the perfect paddle player. She plays to her strengths. She doesn't have a big forehand. She knows it. She doesn't try and hit it. Her offense comes from lobbing well, from blitzing on return to serve in the course of play. And that's what the game's about, isn't it? Playing to what you have.
I admire her so much as a player. She has terrific tenacity. She's a perfect paddle volleyer, which is so important in this game. And she's, like you said, she knows what her strengths are and how to cover up her weaknesses.
And you see so many people trying to do things they're not capable of doing. As she faults twice.
Love 30.
Yep, similar to a Sue Tarzan. Okay, maybe not so similar.
They're similar, but Sue wants to hit that big forehand, whereas Bobo knows that's not where she's winning her points.
That's a great lob. Forces the error.
Love 40.
Delaney started off this game with 2 faults. When you have a team down, you want to step in their throats. You want to play really solid, consistent paddle. Don't want to give anything away at this point in the match. At least that's what Jerry Vian just whispered in my ear.
Game.
Spot from Pendergast.
Zink. Delaney Stevens lead 3 games to 1. Second set.
You know, most matches you'd say that Pendergast Zink are in trouble, right? They were down a set and 2 breaks. But you still feel as soon as they get their teeth into the match and Zink gets some comfort level, they're going to win this thing.
Well, if they can keep it close enough. I mean, if they had just gone down 4-love there, I don't like their chances. Even though we know paddle matches can turn on a dime.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're winning until they shake hands. Well, that was a perfect opportunity for that swinging forehand overhead she loves to hit, and she didn't hit it.
Good view of the ball going into the nick there. And again.
Brewer doesn't like it over there in that backhand court, does she?
No, she gets herself out of there as soon as she can.
Sometimes sooner. There's the hard overhead. Does a great job creating movement with it there. That's what I expected to see more from Zink.
Yes,
you surprised we haven't seen it?
That is the point. I keep looking for that forehand drive overhead. She's only hit it a few times.
And that was a perfect example, the way she opened up the court with it. Oh, she looks so uncomfortable on her serve. And here we are back to serving and coming in the regular formation to the Stevens forehand,
30 all,
which has been so ineffective for him.
When you're missing serves, it just makes everything else so much harder. You can't hit that first volley because you're surprised you got the serve in. It's just tough.
Advantage, Ms. Zink.
Point for 3-2. Why won't they change their strategy? It's so clearly ineffective. Stevens is just picking them apart with that forehand.
I mean, if I were them, I would just stay back. They have the advantage from the baseline anyway.
And it would take pressure off her Zink to get her serve in the box.
Yep.
With a hard overhead there from Zink. Oh, Delaney was in perfect position.
She's holding her paddle up. She was right there.
It looks like they're going to stay back here.
Thank goodness, Mark.
Well, at least Cindy was staying back.
Yeah, they were trying not to give Stevens a target.
Advantage, Ms. Zink.
Now they're back conventional. Zink makes that volley. Catches the nick. Stevens reads it, but just misses it wide.
Game.
Big hold there
Pendergast,
for
Zink.
Zink, and we're back to
Huge.
3-2.
Delaney and Stevens
Huge
lead the
hold.
first
Good
set,
for her
or second
for-
set, 3-2.
For being able to
Delaney
pull
and
that
Stevens
one
won
out.
the first set, 6-4.
She had to dig deep there, Mark.
The two shots that are most impacting her game are her serve and her forehand. Served a better game there. Now she's got to find that forehand. Something she's been unable to do as of yet. Tough first round matchup, huh, Lauren, for both teams. The match on the court next to us ended about 15 minutes ago.
This always seems to happen in women's paddle now. There's enough really good teams that there's always some floaters in the draw that end up having really tough first round matches, which is a good thing. Little bathroom break.
Should be bottled water and Gatorade over there, Bo. There used to be bottled water over there, Lauren.
So I think this is bad for Pendergast Zink. If I had just turned the momentum around, I want to play.
Keep going.
Get on the court, play. They're allowing this delay to kind of stave off some of their momentum.
Ladies.
That small person walking past is Patty Hogan, another Hall of Famer. Okay, Stacey Stevens to serve.
Say that 10 times fast.
I couldn't say it one time fast.
3-2.
Good eye. There's been so little offense generated from the backcourt by
15 love.
Pendergast Zink. You feel like once Delaney Stevens make that first volley, they're in command of the points.
15 all.
The problem has been getting that serve in and making the first volley.
Although Stevens' serve has been pretty solid. She really lined that up and measured it. Just
30-15.
Didn't really hit it though.
no.
Good position, high forehand. That's a ball she's got to rip.
Ball was deep.
Another fault from Stevens.
30 all.
But they really are kind of pulling them back into this match, aren't they? This will be the second consecutive poor service game. Multi-fault game.
I'm very glad she didn't try to hit that toss.
It hurt my back
Yeah.
watching it. Great volley.
Uh.
40-30.
She desperately, Zink wants to string together a few of those forehands. It's just not happening.
That's a tremendous volley from Delaney. Wow, that was a surprising
Delaney
miss, wasn't it? At a
Stevens,
big
They
point.
lead 4-2, second set.
If I'm Delaney Stevens, I'm playing every ball into that Zink corner. wouldn't call this a must hold, but it's pretty close.
Love.
Good patient point.
Stevens had a good crack at that forehand. Just hit the top of the net.
That's all you want.
1 second.
Get your best shot, swing at it, right ball. Those are the points you're going to win more often than you're going to lose. A rare
30
.1
love.
serving conventional style to Stevens. Didn't miss that one by much.
40 love.
Will we see an easy hold here, Mark?
Can I wait a point or two like you did, Lord?
Sure.
You're very generous.
40, 15.
Just really amazed they haven't adjusted at all to the Stevens return. I think they played I formation one time.
And they sort of stayed back that one time.
Sort of.
Nope.
Catches the
Eight.
nick, and we have a
Pendergast,
relatively
Zink.
easy hold.
Delaney and Stevens lead the second set, 4 games to 3.
That's the first nick Bobo hasn't been able to come up with.
And I'm sure she's not happy about
She
it.
wasn't happy. And, you know, Mark, like we said, they're Zink and Pendergast are keeping it just close enough.
I think, Lauren, it's gonna come down to Delaney and Stevens' ability to get enough service in the box. Right? Last time Delaney served, she faltered the first 2 points and then missed an overhead.
Yep.
So if she can get her serve in the box, I think they're gonna hold. But that's a big if right now. Because once they reach this stage of the point, they're winning most of the points. Bubba had turned around. Thought that ball was going
15.
way out that Stevens hit. There's the big Zink forehand we've been looking for.
Love 30.
That was also a tight serve. Soft and high. Two good forehands in a row from Zink, but a little confusion in the backcourt.
15, 30.
That's a terrible feeling when both of you have it and then neither of you get it.
You can almost see it happening at times. And that's what I think we need to see more of from the other side. They started in the I formation. Stevens cut across, made the Zink volley, and all of a sudden they had control of the point.
Yeah, well, clearly Delaney and Stevens had discussed this beforehand. They're very clear on what they're doing when they change their formations. If you haven't practiced it like Pendergast and Zink haven't, it's hard to just pull out of your hat.
40, 30.
Point for 5-3. Great volley from Stevens. That was really
Game,
the first
Delaney,
backhand she
Stevens.
drove off the wires the entire
They lead
match.
5-3.
Definitely a
Second
questionable decision. Great hold there by Delaney.
Yeah. Zink hit a couple big forehands that game, but Stevens and Delaney had the answer. Ooh.
The intensity with which Delaney talks to her partner. You're there! Did that count as a drive or a lob, Lauren, that last ball? Oh, great pickup from Delaney.
And great volley by Pendergast.
Oh, great point.
15 love.
A lot of good action there. And they're serving conventionally to Stevens.
All.
Classic example, if it's broke, fix it. Do something different. Zink seems to be serving better. That's a little bit of a shaky
15.
miss there from Stevens at a big point in the match.
Well, we know how the three Hall of Famers on this court do in tight situations. They've all come out of numerous ones. Let's see how Stevens holds up in the big moments.
Well, she's 2 points for the match as she hits another real good forehand
30
return,
all.
that dipping ball. And now the pressure on the Zink serve intensifies. Great lob from Delaney, and Stevens delivers again, and we reach match point, Lauren.
30-40.
Ooh.
Great volley from Pendergast.
I mean, that's living dangerously.
Deuce.
Good serve and a good volley by Pendergast keeps Pendergast and Zink alive.
And there's the fault we talked about. Match point number
Advantage,
2.
Miss Stevens.
I love that Stevens hasn't backed off at all, Lauren. She's just swinging. She's going to be swinging here if she gets a shot. Oh, just catches the tape. That was her ball. Hope she's not thinking about that one tonight. Great get off the nick.
Little spin from Bobo and the due side.
More of a pirouette, Lauren. I love the little roller. Once again, you see Stevens playing aggressively in the big moments.
And she and Delaney are, that's a
great
great point. They're making very sure to call every ball, so there's no
Advantage, Ms. Zink.
confusion.
Point for a hold. Something Zink has not had a lot of in this match. And that's been the play that's really been the difference today.
It has. It's tough to make that volley with someone in your face like that. Good job by Delaney.
Yeah, see, that play I don't like as much.
Advantage, Miss Zink.
Stevens doesn't blitz as well as Delaney, and Delaney's forehands clearly isn't as good as Stevens. And there we have a hold.
Game.
And a celebration from
Zink.
Pendergast
Delaney
Zink.
Stevens lead 5-4, second set. Delaney Stevens won
It's
the first
interesting in
set.
the dynamic
6
of
games to
things,
4.
Lauren, that if you're Delaney Stevens, you'd rather have lost that game fast
Yeah.
than the way you did. Have the opportunities.
The match point.
Yeah, the 2 match points, the one that Pendergast made the good volley on, and the other one where she hit the tape on the forehand. So now you got to step up and serve a good game.
Because if you're Delaney and Stevens at this point, and someone said you could have a match point, how would you like it? You would say, I would like it Zink serving to Stevens. They've had so much success with that play. And
Absolutely.
yet, a match point, you know, paddle's a very mental game. And like we said, it can turn on a dime. That could have been the turning point.
Okay. Let's see a little bit of what Stevens is made of. I really like what I've seen so far. We'll see what kind of game she can serve here. Good one to start. Pendergast Zink just have not generated any offense
15
after
love.
return to serve. So if she can serve a clean game, I think she's going to hold here. That's a big if.
Toss again, way over her head.
That's a good return from Zink there.
Yeah, she really took
15
something
all.
off that one.
First ball the whole match, she did that? Great volley from Stevens. Oh. Oh, great point all the way around. A couple of great balls from Zink. Really raised her level in the last 5
15-30.
minutes, 10 minutes.
That was the first combination of forehands where she's been able to do anything.
That last little inside out, touchy-feely
Yeah.
shot was brilliant. Boy, she's missed a lot of
30
those
all.
backhands. And for Pendergast, 3 or 4 is a lot.
Yeah, it's just so little margin for error. But it's such a great shot.
Match point number 3. Great volley from Stevens. She's really
40,
delivered.
30.
Very impressed with her, Lauren.
She's kept her cool. She's executed the game plan. And she's being rewarded with a 3rd match point.
I want to see Delaney moving to her right here. Oh! She decides to hit the let court
Game,
ace.
set, match.
Reminiscent of one of Jerry Vion's
Delaney
many national
6-4,
championships.
6-4.
Wow.
It's always hard to apologize too profusely when you've just won the match on a let court serve.
You're welcome, Lauren.
Yeah, because
You're
you were
welcome,
really
Cindy.
happy
You
about
are
it. You're the person
really
who hit that
happy
serve.
about that.
And now we're going to have an interview with the winners. Christy Hayes is going to talk to
Yeah, I know.
Delaney and Stevens.
Let's take a look at the draw, Lauren. So you can see
I'm glad she's doing
Pendergast Zink are through, and they'll play Jones and Ross. And the winner likely will have a chance to play Dardis Shea. And I got to say, Lauren, I was very impressed with Stacey Stevens' game. Best player on the court.
She played a great match. She really did. I liked the game plan that
Yeah,
Delaney
thanks.
Stevens had, and they executed, and Pendergast Zink didn't.
She served a clean game, 5-4 after losing the 2 match points.
Better than a clean game. She
Yes,
got a
and an
let
ace.
court on
Let
match
court
point.
ace. And her forehand was clearly the shot that dominated play. And then you also have to say that the failure of Pendergast Zink to adjust and adopt to the return of serve from Stevens was one of the keys to the match.
Yeah, I think it's their lack of court time, and they just didn't have a plan B.
Yeah, Lauren Zink just doesn't look like she's been on the court enough and is playing at the level you would expect her to play once she's done that.
Okay, and here we have Christy Hayes with the winners.
Don't ask me any questions.
Hi, I am the lucky person to be standing next to Bobo Delaney and Stacy Stevens. We will know that name after this. They are the winners over Cindy Prendergast and Lauren Zink. And what I want to know, ladies, is when you looked at the draw, what was your first instinct?
Well, I never look at the draws. That keeps me calm.
Okay.
So I didn't know till 5 of 9, which was a good thing.
That was a good thing. Stacy, how about you?
I knew I was playing. My partner has played them many times, and I knew she would lead me, be a good captain, and just we would. I don't know what to say. I'm so excited that we beat them.
You should be excited, and I have to say you were out there with 3 many-time national champions, but I have to say, watching the match, that you looked like the veteran.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
All right, and what do you think your chances are going forward? Do you know who you meet next?
No idea.
I do not know. But
I do.
One match at a time.
I
one
do,
point.
but I won't tell you. I'll let you figure it out. But congratulations, and we'll be back in a minute with a round of 64 women's.